forward to getting to know some of the new members that are with us. I wish that I had a few more days here, because this isn't going to be long enough to catch up with everybody. But I want to introduce our main attraction, Wyatt Jones. Wyatt has been with the Launch Strategy Group for about 5 years. He's worked on the CX-30, the Mazda 3, the CX-30 Turbo, and now our new flagship vehicle, the CX-90. So he is based in Irvine. This is his first time to Miami, and he's seen the Hilton Airport Miami Hotel. So we are definitely going to have to welcome him back at some point so he can experience more of your lovely city here. So I will turn it over to Wyatt.
Well, thank you everybody for the warm welcome to Miami, my first time. Pleasure meeting everybody. I'm here today to introduce you to our all-new 24 model year CX-90. So we'll kind of start to begin. As many of you guys have probably noticed, we've been really starting to improve our products and really start towards this kind of Mazda premium way. This is really a combination of improving our design capabilities, as really improve our driving dynamics. We've made big changes, as you can see with the CX-90, big dedication to the performance of our vehicles, importance on that. And we have well over 368 dealers that are either already completed this evolution or either committed, and I think we're actually well above that. This was as of the end of 2022. So now I'll dive into the product. So as I mentioned, this is a huge step up for us. This is all new platform. Large platform is what we're calling it. There's a rear bias, all-wheel drive platform. Again, developed ground up over the past many years. I think a lot of you guys are probably familiar with some of the benefits of making this switch to the rear-wheel drive bias, but it provides a much more balanced feel, able to distribute the weight from front and rear, so we're almost at 50-50 with this vehicle, which really helps enhance the overall driving performance. A lot better traction going into corners, again, really can do part to that 50-50 or close to 50-50 weight distribution. And it also allows us to put some really amazing powertrains in this vehicle. No longer restricted between the front axles. So we're able to put longitudinal, which I'll talk about the new powertrains that we're introducing to this vehicle as well. And one of the kind of really cool things that I thought was, despite being an even longer wheelbase, overall length is not too much longer. We're able to stretch those front wheels out. But also due to this FR platform, we're able to create more clearance in the steering capacity, so it's actually a tighter turning radius than the outgoing CX-9, despite being a much longer wheelbase. So it really also gives us a lot more freedom in the suspension geometry, the way that we design the steering and everything. Just overall tons of improvements through that. So just shifting to this gives us a huge benefit and freedom in engineering and design. So with that, leads us to really help improve the overall design of the vehicle. So again, with that FR platform, we're able to extend those front wheels out towards the front of the vehicle and really help give us the bolt proportions that you see with this CX-90. We're no longer restrained to where the engine has to be in conjunction with the front axle. So we're able to, again, stretch that front. You can kind of see this little space here in between the front door and that front wheel. Kind of, again, give that really elongated look and really powerful stance within the vehicle. And also you might notice the new Artisan Red, which is an all-new color that we're introducing. I wish we did have one here, but this image I think captures it extremely well. It is a remarkable color. It's our design team did an absolute home run with this color. I imagine it's going to do extremely well. So again, that allows us to develop all new platform or all new engines for this all new platform, and with the freedom that we have by going longitudinal, we're able to introduce a performance-driven inline six, then also a plug-in hybrid. So we have two versions of the inline six. We have our standard output at 280 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. This is all on regular fuel. And then we have the Turbo S, which is our high output variant of the inline six at 340 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque on at least 91. I don't know if you guys get 93 out here or not, but no change. And one thing to note is that all of our inline sixes are what's considered a mild hybrid system using Mazda's M hybrid boost system, which is a 48-volt system. That helps with low speed takeoffs, any gaps in acceleration between shifting, so it really helps improve the overall driving feel and performance as well. But also helps improve the fuel economy by taking some of the load off the engines. As you can see, the fuel economy that we're getting with the amount of performance that we're delivering is actually some of the best within the segment, and that's our standard all-wheel drive with those numbers. So if you compare that to any of the competitors, it's extremely competitive. And then you also tack on the performance that we're delivering on top of that, it does extremely well. And then for our plug-in hybrid, which uses our Skyactiv G 2.5 that most of you are very familiar with, but made it to a much larger motor that is all mounted in front of the transmission. So we have a combined horsepower of 323 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, and using a 17.8 kilowatt battery. And we do have an EV-only range, which is 26 miles, so perfect for doing those daily errands around the city without ever having to use any gasoline. But also gives you that freedom to go on those longer journeys that you don't particularly get with going with a full EV. So just to give a little bit of an overview of how the powertrain system fits within our large platform. So again, as I kind of mentioned, we have either the inline 4 or the inline 6 mated to a motor, either one. So we have a smaller motor mated between the engine and the transmission for our mild hybrid system. Then we have a much larger motor for the plug-in hybrid system, which then goes through our 8-speed wet clutch transmission. And then of course to the rear wheels and then back up to the front for the all-wheel drive. And with this vehicle, we're introducing an all-new 8-speed torque converterless transmission. This was developed in-house because we did have, there was a lot of packaging constraints. You take an off-the-shelf transmission, you have to try and make that work and make compromises in your own vehicle. But that's not kind of not the Mazda way, right? We want to make sure that it is a human-centric vehicle. So we developed this transmission in-house. We took out the much larger torque converter for a wet clutch system, which gives us a little bit smaller packaging and able to really create that symmetrical feeling that you get out of a Mazda, not really having to make that compromise in the footbox. There's a lot of benefits to the transmission that we developed. So again, using a wet clutch system, smaller packaging, but you get a much more direct transmission feel as well. So similar to that, you get a dual clutch on those quick shifts, but without some of the complications of at the low speed takeoffs that you get with the dual clutch. And we're making big strides in our safety. Tons of standard safety features. A lot of these are that you see on existing vehicles, but we did introduce some new standard safety features on the CX-90. The vehicle exit warning for the rear seat, and then also the rear seat alert. And then of course, we have the standard smart brake support, the blind spot monitoring, and so on. I won't read them all. But those are all standard on all CX-90 models. And then we also introduced a lot of new technology that's all new to Mazda as well. With kind of, you can see with the little stars there, but with some of the available features, we have an enhanced smart brake support system, which includes smart brake support rear, front cross traffic braking as well. And then we have the blind spot assist, which actually gives you a little bit of steering input as well. Head-on collision avoidance, so if you start to drift over into oncoming traffic, the vehicle will guide you back into the lane. And we have secondary collision reduction, which is if you are impacted from the rear, the vehicle will apply the brakes so that you don't crash into the vehicle in front of you and get that double collision as well. And then we also introducing cruising and traffic support, which if any of you are familiar with our current traffic jam assist, which operates at under 40 miles an hour, this is now a full speed version of the traffic jam assist. So it provides a little more aggressive lane centering, but still make sure that the driver is engaged when driving. So with the CX-90, we have 3 packages. which all have various seating configurations, which I know can be a little bit confusing. It was confusing for even myself at the beginning. But with the turbo, there's 5 total packages, which I'll talk to in a little bit. But we have an 8-seat and 7-seat configuration, as you can see. There's 2-3-3 or 2-2-3. When we go into the Turbo S, you have a 7-seat or a 6-seat configuration. And that is, so the width of the rear seat is about the same, but it's the cushions are reconfigured, so you have a little bit more space in the rear, so that, just again, it's the more upscale vehicle, a little more comfort is what we're trying to prioritize. And then also, you can get the center console in the 6-seat on Turbo S at the very top trim. And then for the plug-in, we again have the same configurations as we do with the Turbo model, which I believe makes it the only electrified or some form of fully plug-in hybrid 8-seat passenger vehicle on the market. So with the 3.3 turbo, so this is the 280 horsepower model. We have 5 different packages going from Select, Preferred, Preferred Plus, Premium, and the Premium Plus. All with growing, they build upon each other with the features that you see there. I'm not going to read them all to you to bore you, but one of the main focuses with this turbo model was this is really geared towards targeting those mainstream competitors and those type of customers. But we really wanted to bring a really strong value in the performance that we're bringing with the inline 6 as standard, but also in the fuel economy that those customers are desiring. And then also bringing exceptional design and then the ride characteristics as well. Those are all very standard within this vehicle, and there's no compromises made in any of those aspects. So I think within the mainstream segment, this is going to be a very strong competitor. And then we get into the Turbo S, which again takes everything to the next level with some exterior design cues. As you can see out there, we have fully painted wheel arch moldings and surround trim. That's one of the ways you can tell that it is the high output variant. We have it in the base Turbo S model, the Premium and Premium Plus. This interior that we see here is exclusive to the Premium Plus model, which has the hanging stitch on the white interior, or there is the tan, which has the quilted tan leather seats with kind of some different black varnishes as well. This Turbo S model is really geared towards making kind of that full-scale entry into the premium space. So think about competing against the likes of the Acura, the Japanese competitors. But again, without bringing this fuel to kind of the Japanese heritage and quality and craftsmanship that you get, but bringing a lot of that German performance into the vehicle as well. So kind of get the best of both worlds in that aspect. And then we have the plug-in hybrid, which is the preferred Premium and Premium Plus. And this, from an exterior standpoint, is very similar to the standard output, but it does have the same wheels that you see on the high output variant, with some notable features as well. Again, plug-in hybrid, standard all-wheel drive. There's some unique elements that I'll talk about that are exclusive to the plug-in hybrid. So we have the 1500 watt AC power outlet. That is in the rear, so that you can plug in a blender for a nice weekend. Have some good time. And we also have, of course, 12.3 instrument cluster, so the gauge cluster is standard.
Does it qualify for government incentives?
I do not believe this one does. I'll have to double check for you. I don't believe it does. But yeah, there's a lot of good standard features on the plug-in hybrid as well. And that's kind of the main bulk. I will touch also actually on the plug-in hybrid is really meant for those type of customers that are looking to get into that electrified space, but aren't really ready to commit to a full electrified vehicle. There is still a lot of infrastructure that needs to be done to be able to support the long road trips. I'm sure many of us are very familiar with very calculated trips. But this gives you a lot of freedom, but again, allows you to use EV only if you're taking kids to the school, running your short-term errands. You have the 26 miles of range. Every time you get
decide when to use those 26 miles?
Yes.
Okay.
So there is EV mode, which is locks it into. But of course, if there's a kick down switch on the vehicle, if you do go past that and engage the kick down switch, it will kick on the electric or the gasoline engine, so you have maximum power. Because that means, if you hit that kick down switch, that means you need power, you need it now. So we do override that EV mode when you do need to do that.
Let's say that I want to use electric only because I go to the downtown in a city and I need to go electric. Can you say that electric mode when you want to use it or not?
Yes, yeah, so that you can set, there's what's called a charge mode, where you can set what range mode that you want to be once you get to a certain destination. So say you're going on a road trip and you want to make sure you have 80% battery when you get to your destination.
Okay.
You can set it to be, I want a charge mode, so it'll maintain that 80% until you get to your destination and put it into EV only mode.
Thank you.
And then there's also EV priority mode, so that anytime you do start the vehicle, it will automatically stay in EV mode until your range is completed as well. So if you're doing a lot of around town city driving, it's kind of your lifestyle, you just turn the car on and it runs on EV mode, so you don't have to go into the EV mode every single time you start the car as well. Yeah, I'll open up to some more questions if anybody has any.
Can you touch just a little bit on the customization that's available for the driver experience? You and I chatted about it
It
briefly.
would like Wyatt will be around for a while that we can do as well. So thank you